What's up, everybody? I am back with episode number 9 of my What If Pokemon Were in Monster Hunter series. Now in this episode, all the Pokemon I will be redesigning are super thanks donation requests from a few different viewers of my channel. And to start off this vid, as you can see, I am redesigning Archeops as requested by Nick the Destroyer. So a huge shout out to Nick for the donation. Thank you very much. I greatly appreciate it. So let's kind of just talk over here of this Archeops sketch I'm doing. So obviously Archeops Pokemon is based off the Archaeopteryx, the quote-unquote first bird, still a dinosaur, but kind of like that transitionary period between, dinosaurs and the birds we have today. So with the redesign, what was in the very beginning of the vid, I forget what the damn monster's name was. Crap, I forget. Anyways, that was one of the monsters I used for reference. If you know the name, put it down in the comments below. Those of you Monster Hunter nerds who know a little bit more about it than me. I can't remember the name. But it'd be similar in stature and design to that, or even think of something like a Kulu-Yaku. So it's still a large monster, but it'd be a smaller large monster. I feel like the fight would kind of play out similar to those as well, or since Archeops the Pokemon, for those of you who've never seen it in animation or anything, it's a little derpy. It's kind of silly because it's kind of flying in the air while it's flapping its arms, and he's kind of like sweating and everything because it's such a struggle for it to fly. So I figure for Monster Hunter, maybe during certain attacks, like when it does like that, that typical raptor jump, to get you with its hind claws, like during that mid animation, like you would kind of see it flap its arms and struggle a little bit while it's doing that. Because other than that, there wouldn't be, it's pretty basic kind of raptor. There's no elements or anything to it. So for the fight itself, it would just kind of have a little bit of a comical kind of feel to it, an early level monster. In terms of the design, pretty straightforward. It's just a raptor doing a bunch of feathers, obviously, on the arms there. I really like doing those kind of like rear quarter feathers, like where it's basically coming off its ass, where it would look almost like you could see there before the tail's done. It just looks like a basic bird tail, but then it has the actual dinosaur tail extending out. So I kind of like that idea and how it looked. It's kind of scaling. You can see I'm kind of doing like a little bit chicken skin there along the what's going to be like the reddish part of Archeops. So texture-wise, that would kind of be like the chicken scale look, and then you can see like the ridge on the top of the head and the neck there. It's kind of just like a little bit more armored plating type of scaling. Yeah, don't have too much else to say about this design here. I like the way it turned out. It's pretty cool. It's definitely a different looking monster. I just like the mix of the feathers with the dinosaur scales and everything. So yeah, you can see I'm coloring it in here. Also, definitely like the color palette of Archeops. It's really bright and vivid. Kind of reminds me of like a Quetzalcoatl or something, like was it Aztec god or is it Mayan? I think it's Aztec, right? Quetzalcoatl or Quetzalcoatl, whatever the pronunciation is. But so I really like the color palette. And as you can see here, just throwing in the shading and the highlights, finishing up the design. I'll just kind of let this play out here a little bit more, and then once it's finished up, we can talk over the final card, which, as you can see, we have here Archeops, the false bird wyvern. Monster class bird wyvern, element none, ailments none, and weakness is thunder. And then here you can see the size comparison versus the hunter. So that's Archeops completed, and now let's move on to the next monster of the video. Okay, and now you can see we are on to Drednaw. This was a super thanks donation request made by Steen PX4JV. I don't know what the PX4JV, if that stands for something, but it looks like an Xbox account username. So thank you, Steen, for the donation. I greatly appreciate it. So let's get on to Drednaw here. Personally, I love Drednaw. It's definitely one of the cooler looking newer generation Pokemon in my opinion. So I was happy to do this redesign. As you can see, that came up with that first initial sketch, scratched it, now I'm onto this one here. I kind of had to think about how I wanted to do the design in terms of, in Monster Hunter there's no real turtle monsters. The one monster I kind of used as reference when I was designing this was, forgive me, I'm probably gonna butcher this name because I think this was only like a monster released in Japan, so there's no North American or English name. Odebadarasu, I think I said that correctly. That's kind of the only monster that was similar in structure to what I wanted to do for this. So I used it, and in Monster Hunter, it's classified as a flying wyvern, just like Akintor and Yukonlos, even though it doesn't even have wings or doesn't fly or anything like that. And I know there's reasoning behind it, like, I'm not super in depth with the Monster Hunter lore, so forgive me guys who are probably gonna jump down my throats on this, but isn't it like all these like modern flying wyverns kind of branched off from like this primal species that it had like wings on its forelimbs but it didn't fly, and then like that kind of evolved into like Tigrex and then branched off into things like Rathalos and everything, if I remember correctly. So I guess like these monsters like Akintor and Yukonlos, I'm guessing, I think they're like a more ancient species, and that's how you get away with them not actually being able to fly. So kind of thought about like that for Drednaw here. So even though it's a freaking turtle monster, it would be a flying wyvern technically, because there's not a, I don't know why Capcom doesn't make like a turtle category, turtle wyvern, or even just do like a primal wyvern or something for a bunch of these monsters that can't fly at all. But you know, whatever, it's neither here nor there. So you can see I'm finishing up the design here. I'm throwing in the shading and stuff. I had a fun time doing this drawing here. It's just nice, you know, not having to always do a dinosaur or a dragon, and a nice big old bulky turtle is always fun to draw. So yeah, in terms of the fight in Monster Hunter, you know, it's a turtle, dude. It'd be it's like a snapping turtle, so it'd be tearing you apart with his big old iron-like jaws and stomp on you with those, you know, forelimbs. I wanted to make its forelimbs a little bit, you know, almost like I used like a little bit of alligator. I incorporated into the design here with like the scaling and stuff. So, and then you also see on like the tail, a kind of a little bit like Stegosaurus, like with the spikes and everything. Because Monster Hunter, you just add more spikes and more scaling, and there you go. It looks like, you know, a Monster Hunter creature. So here you can see the completed design. Drednaw, the snapping wyvern. Monster class, flying wyvern. Element, water. Ailments are water, blight, and stun, and weakness is thunder. So that's it for Drednaw, and now let's get on to the final monster of this video. Yep, folks, you're seeing it right. We're doing Farfetch'd, man. Who would have thought we'd be here? Not me, but you know, here we are. So this is a super thanks donation request made by Possibly Angle. So thank you very much, Possibly Angle, for your donation and your request here, Farfetch'd. Yep, we're doing it, folks. We're doing it. So for this one, really kind of out of left field, you know, on how I wanted to do this. So as you can see, I had to come up with multiple sketches and iterations and everything, just trying to figure out the route I wanted to go, because it's a duck. So it's not like I had a whole lot to work with for the Monster Hunter design. But you can see here what I ended up settling on. So kind of kept it very duck-like, extended, you know, certain, you know, body lengths and everything, a little bit of between like a duck and then maybe like a terror bird or something, because obviously it'd be larger, it's a Monster Hunter. So kind of like with the eyebrow on Farfetch'd, I kind of converted it into like these kind of these antenna-looking horn things. Just kind of varied up the scaling and everything on it. Like the feathers on the chest kind of made them look a little bit more scaly-like, but still basically kept it as just a bird, just more Monster Hunter style. And as you can see, I ended up doing 2 Farfetch'd in this drawing here, because I figured this could be the perfect opportunity to be the first small monster that I designed on this channel. And like when you look up on like just Google any of like Monster Hunter small monsters, they're for their monster art or whatever, their renders, like they're always in pairs of 2 or 3, because they're like, you know, they're always like pack monsters, you know, they fight in packs. So I wanted to do 2 separate Farfetch'd here on this design, so you guys get a little 2 for 1 here. The only other thing I really had to think about was, you know, with Farfetch'd, its leak. I couldn't really make like a giant, I mean, I guess I could have made it like a giant onion coming out of its mouth for Monster Hunter, but what you'll end up seeing here, so this one I'm working on now, it's kind of like a palmetto type of, it's more of, it's from a plant, but it'd be more like bladed edges on those leaves there, so it would kind of, in combat, it would kind of use it as like, you know, like almost not an axe, because it would be slicing you with it. It could like one end it could like stab you with the pointy end over there, and then the other end it could kind of use, maybe even it could do generate like wind attacks or something. Like it could whip that whip the plant there, and then like the blades there would cause like a wind, like an air pushback or something during the fight when you take these little guys on, because they'd be, you know, jumping and running all over the place. And then what you'll actually see, what I end up doing with the other Farfetch'd, like you can see I'm trying to figure out, do I want to do a sketch, and then this is what I'm deciding. I put the insect glaive, the bone insect glaive in its mouth, just for fun, but also I figured maybe like if it was in Monster Hunter, there could be like some cool special quest where you have to find this Farfetch'd that robbed this dude of his insect glaive. So you have to kind of track down this group of Farfetch'd, and like this one's maybe like the leader or something, and just straight up it ganked this dude's weapon. So during the fight, like it's a special Farfetch'd where, you know, it's doing like these crazy ass insect glaive moves, like flying all over the place, just hitting you with that hitting you with that stick. So I just thought that'd be like a funny, since we're designing Farfetch'd, right? You know, we're just going all the way. You know, we're going out there, so might as well, you know, go all in with the silliness of it. So I thought it was fun to throw that insect glaive in there, and also just because it just makes it look like it fits into Monster Hunter just a little bit more that way when you see the weapon next to it. And I also know everybody in the comments, they always want me to design possible weapons for these monsters and armor sets. And trust me, I do want to do that too, but the only thing is that's not my expertise in the art department, like animal and creature design is. So I can crank out these and make more content more consistently when I'm just doing the monster designs. And if I decide to do the other stuff, it would just take me longer. And I'm trying to get consistent content out on my channel. So maybe in the future I'll try to do that for y'all. But right now here you just have the completed design for Farfetch'd, the stick wielding bird, monster class small wyvern, element none, ailments stun. I figured bleed. You know what the hell. And then weakness is none. So yeah, do me a solid. If you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Also, feel free to leave comments down below of any monsters or Pokemon you'd like to see me redesign in Monster Hunter. You don't have to donate for me to draw it. It's just that if you are anybody who donates $10 or more, like the Super Thanks donations, I'll be sure to 100% do whatever Pokemon you request. So just a way of me generating a little bit of side income here, because I'd like to try to transition into more of an art career. So that's what I'm doing now. So I'm just trying to get the ball rolling here. But yeah, that's it for me, and until next time, I'll see y'all later. Peace out.